Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, my friend?
Well, thank you.
Not to quite well? Just well?
I'm well to
All right,
quite well.
let's-
I'm in the Target.
All right.
What's new?
Take that. Not much. I met a new poops last night, which was kind of fun. Did you see that many of my pictures? Oh, man. I just
Where can I see these?
I sent him to E. He can pull them up. So every once in a while, I used to get these texts from Beth all the time. It was just like, oops, you know. And so I got one of those like, oops, and it's just a poops. I was like, oh man, who's that guy?
What do you mean, oops? Like,
Oops, like I brought this home.
oh, gotcha.
Oops, sorry, couldn't help it. A little guy was found walking around by himself on I-75.
Uh-huh.
Not a very safe place for a little monkey to be walking around. He's only a few weeks old. Want to see him? Look at that poops!
What's he doing on the freeway?
I don't know. Yeah, I was just strolling around 75, kicking around, almost probably got hit by a couple cars.
He's
but-
cute.
Yeah, isn't he cute? Look at that poops. Yeah, he laid me down next to a little monksy here and takes a nap.
So that's Beth's dog, not yours?
No, it's not mine. It's not hers either. But they were like, hey, we got this dog. Can you take it to the vet? So she took it to the vet, and everything checked out. I'm doing good health-wise. I'm pretty good. I didn't get hit by a car or nothing. And so I was like, oh, my God, I have to stop by and meet this little dude.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went by and opened his little cage. He was so tuckered out. He had a long day, what with playing on the freeway and then going to the vet and stuff. And so I go over there, and I just open the cage. I don't want to bother. You know, he's tired. And so he's like, hey, who are you? What's going on, friend? You want to be friends? Will you be my pal? I was like, yeah. And so I just held my hand out, you know, just like, go ahead and sniff. And he's
Yeah.
sniffing away. And then he's sniffing the hand. And then
Put his head on your hand.
he puts his whole
Oh,
head on
and
my
he fell
hand.
asleep.
And he starts to fall. I'm so tuckered. I'm so tuckered out.
He'll
He
get
starts
he'll
falling
get adopted in no time.
Yeah,
He knows
he's
how
a
to
little-
schmooze.
He's got both eyes.
Uh-huh.
That
That's-
helps. You know what I mean? That's a big plus.
That's some cool markings. I'm watching your video right now.
Are you?
On
Little
Facebook.
guy.
There's a
Yeah.
little video. Yeah.
I think Maurice said he looks like an Oreo, with that white stripe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was
Right
like,
down the
well, not a
middle of 'em.
double stuff, but a regular Oreo cookie. But yeah, he's quite the hit online. Anytime you post a picture of a puppy,
It's the
you know,
easiest.
like, yeah,
Pets
I mean,
are
it's
the
just-
easiest for sure.
Cats, you know, puppy, they're just home runs. They are. Chicks can't help it, but he's a little guy. And so, yeah, I'm going to bring him over here and introduce you to him, Jay. He's just got a sweet temperament. And
Cool.
we got to keep him out of the freeway, though. He cannot be hanging out on the
Out of my important business documents, too. There'll be none of
Well,
that.
I don't know how trained we are yet, so maybe you just put him up on the counter for a couple days.
He really is a good-looking pup. A lot of these things you see, and they're just flea-bitten, nasty-ass, you know, one eye hanging out, like you say. He's
Yeah.
a great-looking dog.
How many pictures are there, E?
Oh,
Were
sorry.
there?
I got, like,
I thought I pulled him up. I got 4.
Yeah, that's me. My name's Monkey. I don't know my name, and so they just call me Monkey now. Yeah, little guy. Yeah, he's a cute for sure, and he's quite the hit online. So I don't know. He'll get adopted out for fast. So there's already people that are like, okay, how do I get this little dude? How do I take him
That's
home?
what I'm saying. He's very adaptable.
Yeah.
Looks ready to go.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Doesn't even look like he has worms.
Nope, no worms. Nope.
Are we sure?
Yeah. She took him to the vet, and everything's fine. But you wonder how does a guy like that end up wandering around a freeway? Like,
I
how
would
does
like
that even
to see
Is that someone's
his
like,
whole day that
I don't
day.
want this dog, and just chucks him out the door, or does he like leave his home somewhere at a few weeks old and just wander out onto a
Right.
freeway? Like, how does that even happen?
Man, I don't know.
Oh man, he's safe though. He's in good hands now. Did you see Blake Griffin? We were talking about him yesterday for the roast battle. He
Yeah,
was
with
doing.
Jeff Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got nailed with paternity, right?
Uh-oh.
Quite a bit too. Boy, I wish they would
It's
set
like
it.
$260 a month or something.
No,
like
no,
that for two kids?
that's outrageous. $258.
Okay.
$258,000. Not a year,
A month?
a month.
Oh, boy.
boy, oh boy, it really does pay to marry a pro athlete, especially a basketball
Well, it pays
player.
to have a kid with a pro athlete.
3
Yeah.
point something a year.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's in the middle of a annual.
God,
His
it doesn't
annual
sound that
income-
outrageous when you put it per year to me, but when you think of it per month, it's like fuck.
Yeah,
Two,
I know it's like
a month.
3.06
You know, but
million
you go,
a year.
okay, the guy makes like 38 million a year or something.
35 million with,
Yeah.
with all his stuff. When
Yeah,
when
give
you're
3 to
doing-
your kids for the care of your kids.
Boy, oh
you know,
boy.
they've got to be brought up in the way that they're accustomed, Mike.
Right. What is it? That's
need to be
the
living
rule.
on
Equal environment. or something?
Manhattan Beach in a 5-bedroom, right? Is that
Yeah.
where they are?
Oh yeah. And that's not pricey land at all. When you're talking about a 5-bedroom on Manhattan Beach in Southern California,
That's what you get when you cheat on your woman with a Jenner, right? Is it Kendall Jenner?
Yeah, I think they were engaged, and then it was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I started
Sort of-
banging Kendall
yeah,
Jenner.
Like an
so-
upgrade significantly, sort of a Verlander situation, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my God! Wait, huh? She's interested in me?
And he had 2 children with her, Ford and Finn.
Yeah.
I got Ford and Finn, and they're like 5 and 2. So he's
I
he's been
think
with his chick for a while.
Dude, I
but-
think that chick was, if I'm not mistaken, I think I searched her earlier. She was linked to some other big star, like a Reggie Bush or something. Or
Oh really?
yeah, she was dating someone before him.
Bryn Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like
I
a
don't know.
former USC volleyball player or
Yeah,
something.
pretty hot. I'm assuming she's not just like a gross
Right,
chick. She's
right.
probably pretty hot. Can
She
you
was
find
linked.
her
She was linked to somebody significant before. But
No kidding.
He's just got binger.
Not a shock there. What do you think about that though? When you're forcing a guy to pay $258,000 a month, it's like how much is your cereal, broad? Like he's paying for the house too.
Yeah.
Like he's still paying for the house.
care for those kids.
Oh my God, the schools are expensive in Southern California. They're not that expensive. $258,000 a month. Wow. And that's Manhattan Beach is just north of Hermosa Beach, and Hermosa Beach, you'll know, is where the Beverly Hills 90210 house is. You know,
Oh, yeah.
the beach house.
Sure.
That Tori Spelling and Jenny Garth, whatever their
Right, I
characters
forgot about the beach house.
Remember that?
Yeah.
They moved there because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
They say that they call it the
Where's the Peach Pit? Is the
or
Peach Pit
yeah.
around there?
Was it who was the Peach Pit owner?
Mel or something like that.
Max or whatever. But I know the Peach Pit After Dark. Remember when it got a little more adult?
Absolutely.
The Peach Pit After Dark. You loved that show, didn't you? You did.
It was one
You
of these
did?
like guilty pleasure. It was like General Hospital. I'd watch that in General
Yeah.
Hospital. Yeah.
Did you make Devil's Food Cakes like my dad did when he watched soap operas?
No.
Each day he would eat a full Devil's Food Cake and watch.
She also has a kid with Matt Leinart.
Yeah. There
Oh,
you go.
Matt Lyon. There you go. USC. Okay, that makes sense. Let me see her. Do you have a picture of her?
So how much is Matt paying per month?
I don't know
He's
that
doing
he's making. Well,
he's doing
doing
well with network gigs,
Is it,
right?
is it college football? I think he does the college football like game day
Yeah, I think
thing.
so.
So yeah, he's probably doing well. Let me see her.
This isn't the best picture. I don't.
Those are
they're all
two
with
big,
him.
trying to gets by her. You know. I know. You wouldn't think, right?
I mean, these guys can
She's
literally get anyone they
fine,
want.
yeah.
She's fine. She looks tall. You would expect that
She's
from a
fertile,
college.
and that's the key.
Yeah, she sure is. Nice titties. Maybe she's really nice. I don't know. I honestly had never heard her name until reading this article today about Blake Griffin. But that property where that Beverly Hills 90210, I was looking that up earlier today. They call it the Strand, that strip on Hermosa Beach where that house is, the corner lot, right on the water, 5-bedroom. That thing was up for sale last year for $16.5 million. Yeah. And they say that strip of land, the Strand, as they call it, the Strand on Hermosa Beach, is by square footage the most expensive property in the country.
Oh wow,
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? But it is gorgeous, man.
that's where she's living.
Yep, she's just north of that, and don't be ridiculous. I'm not in Hermosa Beach. I'm in Manhattan Beach, just a mile north of that. But yeah, $258,000 a month. That's how you lose your money. That's how you make when you go. How does a guy making $30 million a year lose his money? Yeah, it's buying separate homes for $10 million. I think his house is that one in Manhattan Beach is like $9 million.
Yeah,
It's
going,
5-bedroom.
It's going to have a fling with Kendall Jenner.
God, that would suck. Ugh. Were you devastated to hear the news that Urban Meyer's been suspended?
You know,
Is that good news, E?
I'm
guess.
sure most people in Michigan are pretty excited about that, right? You know,
I would
he's-
assume,
he
yeah.
pretty much.
I mean, I've never
owns
liked
the
him.
Big Ten.
I've never liked him, and it has
State
nothing to
and
do
Michigan.
with. I've never liked him, but even before Ohio State, I would
Yeah.
say that. I
Seemed
always
like a
think,
real cocksucker at
yeah.
Florida
So
too, didn't he?
I don't
Oh
really.
yeah.
Like, I guess it's good.
Who was the
He's an
coach
asshole.
before him that wore the tie and the vest?
Tressel.
Tressel.
Tressel. I hated him, and when he was gone, it was like, whew, thank God we got Tressel out of here because he's been a pain in the ass for Michigan State for many years. And then it's like, damn it, fucking Urban, come on.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know the new guy, Ryan Day.
Because he had won a couple national championships at Florida, right?
Yeah,
Before he came to Ohio State.
Was he there with Tebow?
Yeah. Tebow was the guy.
He definitely did. Anyway, there's some domestic violence issues with one of the assistant coaches.
Yeah,
and
Zach Smith, receivers coach.
Yeah, and I guess
you know that he's the grandson of Earl Bruce, former OSU head coach. So he's got
Zach Smith is?
Yeah, so there's political shenanigans going on with this that run deeper than just his relationship with Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
This guy's an Ohio State kid.
Typical Ohio.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Right.
Once you get down in Ohio, I would expect nothing less. His wife, though, his former wife, you gotta hate that when you see an ex like posting shit online about you, or she's giving full interviews, and it's like, oof.
Yeah, did you see that ESPN interview with her?
Yeah, I did.
Somebody give her a drink of water, please.
I couldn't tell if that was permanent, no matter what she drinks.
Oh my God, dry mouth. It was just, I think maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like she has a speech impediment.
That's what I thought too.
But so maybe that's playing a role in that. But it was like from the go, please hydrate this woman, hydrate her. Just give her a spritz.
Yeah, just like you would think some director or producer on set would be like, time out, hold on, and just throw water in her
and
face.
Maybe it's not noticeable if you're just watching on TV, but I had
it is.
I had the cans on, and I was like, oh,
yeah, that's what I did.
Water this chick.
It was distracting. Like
I
wanted to hear about her abuse.
I kept having to rewind because I'm like distracted.
Courtney Smith is her name. You
not
can see
Courtney Thorne Smith.
No,
Is this it? I don't even know.
Thorne with an E.
Is this the one you're talking
Yeah,
about?
that's it. Oh yeah.
And Zach
Should I,
Smith
should I
met at
go
Kentucky
forward in this? Or
and
something?
It doesn't matter where you go,
you're
going to hear the
June
same
of
thing.
2008, when he was
This
a
is the
graduate
interviewer
assistant for
talking at
Urban
this
Meyer
point.
at Florida. When did the alleged abuse begin?
That was in 2009, the Gainesville incident.
Oh my God!
it's
that I'm
painful.
sure you're aware of. That was actually the first time that he's ever
Just
been physically.
somebody spray
violent
something.
with me.
Just a
So
drip.
there was a police report
a
on that
droplet.
incident. Can you tell me what happened?
One
that
droplet would help
We were
this.
at a get together at Coach Meyer's house. They always had a big party.
There's an
and a
impediment,
get-together
for
with
sure.
all the
Coach Meyer
family,
house. Yeah.
before-
Something's going on, but I don't know if that's playing into the dryness. The dryness. Please, there's got to be a way to cure that.
There's dryness on top of an impediment. It's just not
Picture her with a camelback and the hose coming up to her mouth. Takes a sip every now and then.
every 3 seconds trying to get rid of that. What did you think of the abuse allegations?
I mean,
Because
what do you?
well,
Do I believe them? Do they sound credible?
Yeah,
It sounds like the sort of shit that could happen. Yeah.
for sure. 2009, I think, was the first accusation, and there were pictures she had of bruises on the arm and stuff like that. But the one that made these all come to light was in 2015, where she's got a restraining order against him, and it was like he pulled up in the driveway to drop the kids off.
Oh, I didn't think she had a restraining order.
Yeah,
I thought
she did.
I thought she was told by her family, "Don't go get a restraining order because you could ruin his career."
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about that? Like,
I know,
She goes,
that's a
I
tough question,
I
though.
sent pictures to my parents. I sent pictures to his parents, and everyone's response was, "Don't go to the police because if you ruin his career, what are you and the kids gonna do?" It's like, oh my God.
I know, but if you think about it,
Well,
she's counting on
this is
him
your
for
daughter.
financial support.
This is your daughter being beat up by like what father would get a picture like that from their daughter and react? Well, you know what? You just got to work through it, honey.
Well,
come on, Cupcake, work through it. He's going to be a big star someday.
They were leaning on, well, he's never done it before. So let's just say this was a one-off. I'm sorry, you don't smack your girl around as a one-off. I mean, it's just maybe I'm wrong about that. That's just the way. If you're able to get to that
Yeah, I
level,
know,
it
I
just
know.
seems like that's part of.
I think
who
there was
you are.
drinking involved, so it was more easily explainable. Like, well, you know, he's drunk and he'd never done it before, and he's not that kind of guy.
So one of the people that you're talking about in that inner circle was like, if you don't drop the charges, Zach will never coach again. He's never hit you before. He was drinking. He'll probably never do it again.
Yeah, and
It's a
she
big
wants to
problem.
believe it. So this is probably a pretty
Yeah.
pretty standard story of abused women, where you're like, yeah, I mean, it's the guy I love. He's never acted like this before. Okay,
He was
Can work
drunk.
through it.
Everyone in my inner circle that I trust and love is telling me,
Did you think she was kind of a bitch in that instance too? How she explained it? They went to a dinner, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to go home. And he's like, well, I'm going to go out with some buddies. And she's like, that was totally fine. Totally fine.
Yes,
I was
did.
fine with that. So he goes out with some buddies, comes home at 3 a.m., and brings home one of his coworkers.
Yeah.
Coworker's sleeping on the couch. He comes to bed, and she pitches a fit. No, he's not going to sleep on. Oh my God, it's 3 a.m. and all
Did
this
she
shit.
like drive him home
and
or
she
some
was like,
shit?
it's our anniversary morning.
So the next day was their anniversary.
Yeah,
It's now after midnight.
So you can picture this. I mean, I'm not trying to defend this
Anniversary morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Dude, I didn't know how you were going to react to this, but I thought the
maybe
same
there's
thing.
a little bit like, okay, you could have reacted different. You let the guy go out and get drunk with his buddies, and then you react like that when he comes home drunk with his buddies? I mean,
Yeah.
what do you
And
think?
it wasn't like he
being
brought 10 buddies home.
Right.
He brought one buddy who's sleeping. It's not like he was like, honey, we're here for a threesome.
exactly.
It was like, dude, he's on the couch, whatever. And she's going to flip her shit. And she's
Totally.
hearing her talk about it too, like all calm. And it's like, bitch, you know that was an explosive
Yeah.
scene. You didn't have to make a big deal about it.
But, that complete speculation and conjecture on our part. That was just something I read into it. But in that instance, he takes her by the freaking neck and puts her up against the wall.
Yeah.
So that's where we get to then sending pictures to family members and them reacting like, oh, he won't do it again.
Yeah, he's drunk. It's 3 a.m. Why are you poking the bear? Like, no offense. I don't want to sound like a misogynistic pig, but I totally agree with you. When I watched that, I was like, this seems like an outrageous thing to be doing at 3 a.m. He's drunk. He brought his buddy home. Like, okay, so fucking what? So his buddy sobers up in the morning and goes home.
Yeah.
You really need to drive him home at 3 a.m.
Be
and make
that
a
as
giant.
it may, as ridiculous as her response may have been, he still put her up against the wall by
It's
her
never
neck.
appropriate.
I
Never
mean,
appropriate.
Is it?
No,
I mean,
it's not.
awful.
Of course. So anyway, July of this year, there was a domestic violence civil protection order against him. The court finds that Courtney Smith is in immediate and present danger of domestic violence,
Not
and
Courtney
for good
Thorne
cause.
Smith. Courtney Smith.
No, Thorne with an E. No, just Courtney Smith. Following the orders are necessary to protect the persons named in this order from domestic violence, and so yeah.
Okay, so she did.
She did have that, and then, but I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the big charges that this blew up in the media, and now he's being fired from his job. I figured it was going to be one of those. He got into a scuffle with her, strangled her, punched her, something. It's like she asked him not to show up at the house, and he pulled up in the driveway and dropped the kid off.
It was enough.
And it was
Last straw.
technically he's in violation of this protection
Well,
order.
she
Take
said-
some pictures.
She said, although the physical abuse stopped in 15, he kept like the mental abuse and really ramped it
Yeah.
up after they separated, and just was making her life hell. So it was probably the straw that broke the dromedary's back, so to speak.
Yeah.
She ends up going public with it.
Well, and the problem why Urban Meyer is now suspended as an investigation is going on
With pay.
Of course, yeah. It sounds like Courtney was talking, and when you're on a team like that, like the coach's wife, all the ladies hang out together, the players' wives or whatever, and so she was friends with Urban Meyer's wife. I think it's Shelley Urban or something, and it was like,
I know Shelley Meyer more than Shelley Urban, but okay.
yeah. So anyway, she says, now that you've told me about this, it's my duty to tell Urban. And she's like, fine, tell Urban. And she doesn't know to this day if Shelley told Urban about this, but she thinks maybe she did. And Urban, she's like, everybody knew. All the coaches knew. Like, everybody knew what was going on.
Here's the thing, though. Did you catch late in the interview where she admits that Urban stopped her after the national championship game, like at the airport
Yeah.
or something, came up to them and were like, hey, how are you guys doing? And she's like, well, what was I supposed to say at that point? I mean, we just won the national championship.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to come forward with the allegations, so I said, we're
Fine,
okay. We're
we're
okay.
good.
Yeah, we're fine. So it's like,
Is it?
What do you want
There
now?
is
Now
some
you're gonna
responsibility,
point-
right, to say something.
Yeah,
I mean,
so now you're-
if he's asking you,
now you're gonna point at Urban and go, he knew, he should have done more. Well,
And that's what she's saying. Well, the Myers, had a responsibility to do more.
Myerses.
Myers did. When somebody is crying out for help, I believe the coach, along with the coach's wife, have a duty. They have a duty to do something to help instead of worrying about winning games or instead of worrying about who his mentor is and who his family is and trying to protect that. Somebody's safety and the safety of their children and the environment they're in needs to be more important.
he actually may have a duty under Title IX, that Federal Education Act. I haven't seen anybody analyze this, but he might. He
Yeah.
might have a duty to report that. And
Maybe so, but just as a matter of
Well,
outside of the legalities
sure,
of
put
it.
legalities aside, does he have a moral duty? I think he probably does.
Probably in a
instance.
way. I mean, if you're a big coach, I mean, he's makes what, $7 million a year or something.
Like you said, the shit's tight knit. You've got all the coaches
Yeah.
and their wives, and everybody knows each other. Everybody goes to cookouts and all this shit.
Yeah.
So I think you do.
I think you
moral
probably
duty.
do as well. But if he comes up and says, "Hey, how you guys doing?" and has that moment, like, what do you want him to do?
I know. Does he
What-
keep digging after that?
He's not supposed to be worried about winning games. Yes, he is. That's like his job, is to worry about games. Like, if you're so worried about your safety, well, go to the police, go to family, go to therapy, whatever. But it's not. I don't know. Part of me goes, it's not Urban Meyer's job to protect
seems
your
kind of like,
livelihood.
yeah,
forever.
crazy that all of this responsibility is placed on Urban Meyer in this story, and it's because Urban Meyer's Urban Meyer, and
Right.
that Ohio State University depends on
His
him to win
salary's
football games.
this.
But it's like you listen to her, and it's like your parents even told you to go back to this guy and not report it to
Yeah.
the police. All the and then but Urban Meyer should have dug. He should
Yeah.
have dug further and figured this out and made it all
The
better.
head coach, I mean, yeah, in a way, it's like you're right. The head coach, he's got all this shit going on. He did ask you, and he has to go do a personal investigation.
I
mean,
feel I was in a safe space to talk about it at that moment, but
And
he's
maybe-
got a duty.
And dude,
then
maybe
reach out
he's
to him
asked,
after
maybe
that.
he's reached out to this guy on the side and been like, dude, is this true? And maybe credibly the guy responds, no, it's not. Okay,
Yeah.
she's having some issues. We're working through them, but I'm not beating her up or anything. Come on. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Who knows what's going on?
Yeah, we don't know what's going on.
So
It's
that's
he
why
said,
he's
she said,
suspended
but-
right now, and they're investigating.
Yeah, my guess is he'll probably, if he's going to stand by, I didn't know shit about it. What are they going to do?
Well, he's in trouble right now, though, because he says he doesn't know shit about the 15 time, right? He
Right.
says he knew about the prior time because that was disclosed when he hired him.
Am I missing something? Is the 15 time just that he pulled up in the driveway and dropped the kid off? Is
No,
that,
the 15 time he was beating her up.
he was. Is that where the pictures come from, where she's got bruises on her forearm?
I think so.
Okay,
And that's when she reached out to Shelley Urban,
right, and got the restraining.
Shelley Meyer,
Shelly Meyer.
and
Shelly
said, look, this is going on, and she said she had to tell Urban.
I don't know, man.
So it's possibly the cover up again that is worse, or that buries the guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say worse than the crime. But
I think 15. I mean, the Me Too movement started in what, early 18, late 17.
probably late 17.
So I mean, honestly, in 2000,
These obligations shift.
Yeah,
Did
they-
you really have an obligation back then?
there has been a huge shift. I'm sorry, it is what it is.
Yeah.
There has been a massive shift in the last year. Like, all of a sudden we are totally worried about, domestic violence. Like, it just wasn't,
think about-
especially with big time athletics. It just
the
wasn't.
domestic violence was a big thing. It's been a big thing, and certainly the Ray Rice thing put
Yeah.
back
Well,
front and
that's what I was
center.
gonna
But,
say.
but the sexual assault, hand in
Yeah.
hand with Me Too, certainly that's been treated differently in the last 6 or 8 months.
And I don't mean to undercut it at all and act like that's okay, that 10 years ago it was like, yeah, whatever, he's a great coach. Who cares if he's beating his wife, when he gets home? No, that's outrageous and horrible no matter what. But as far as like people's obligations to report stuff
Yeah.
and go public, like, that just wasn't really a thing not that long ago.
What do you think? Does he survive it?
Probably. He's got a great winning record.
Depends on what he knew when he knew it.
Yeah. How do you prove
That's what it
that?
always comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
and
don't know.
and to your point, Mike, what proof they have of it?
Yeah.
If there's really distinctive proof that he lied just the other day, saying I didn't know anything about this, I just knew about the 09, then that's front and center. It's like, Urban, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
And then there's the
What was
moral
it?
turpitude type clause where you're like, dude,
Yeah.
you put the university in a really tough spot. You made it
For
look
a
really
wide
bad.
receivers coach,
I
too.
know,
Like,
man.
I mean, it's not like.
But that's why I brought up the Earl Bruce connection, because I think there's probably heat on Urban to protect this dude,
Probably.
to move him through the system.
Yeah, I think he was speaking at a Big Ten press conference type thing for as the season's getting fired up here, and that's where someone asked him, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know." And so if that, he's like, and if I did, I would have fired him immediately. And so, if there's a way to prove that he did know, who knows? But
And given Ohio State's record and not being like the totally like biggest moral upstanding university, I'm gonna
Right.
say he survives it.
I would think
and
so too.
To your point too, I mean, wins like crazy. So
And I think that probably means a lot
Yeah.
to a lot of people. So It is what it is.
Hey, you already know that Hamlin Pub is a great place to watch the big game, including Ohio State games. They're all on there. For dinner with the family and for a night out with your girl. But are you aware of Hamlin Pub's amazing Tuesday and Thursday food specials? Are you aware?
No, I'm not. Please
Tuesdays,
inform me.
Tuesdays, burger and brew days. That's an Angus burger, fries, and your choice of 12-ounce domestic beer or a soda, just $6.99. That's a good deal.
That's a great deal.
If pizza's more your thing, however,
It is.
then get there on Thursdays when you'll get half off all pizzas. These specials are good at all 5 Hamlin Pubs locations in Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and the 2 in Shelby Township.
I consider myself quite the pizza connoisseur, too. And I'm telling you, dude,
really like it?
love their pizza. Yeah, I think it's really good.
Hey, I think
It's really good.
I think we're in position. Speaking of Hamlin, to let the listeners know that we have a save the date.
Ooh.
September 29th. Save the date. We'll be out at Hamlin Pub, I believe at 22 Mile and Hayes, but we'll have more information on that. And more information on what the programming of the evening will include.
It should be fun. We haven't done a meet and greet in a while.
Yeah,
So
but
when
save
was
the
the
date.
last one? Like December or something?
Probably.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
We did a lot there in a row, so it was good to kind of back off. But
September
yeah, that'll be
29th.
fun. September 29th. We know that date is firm.
Yeah,
And is that do we know?
it's a Saturday.
Saturday. Okay, cool. So save that, folks, and hopefully we'll see a lot of you out there. Did you see the pizza delivery guy, the Hungry Howie's pizza delivery guy in Michigan, who showed up
Not
at
sure.
these?
the pianist.
Yeah, he's a pianist, and he shows up with a pizza. He's like,
Is that a piano?
"Baby grand, could I check it out?"
Yeah, I saw this guy.
And they're just like, "You play?" And he's like, "Oh, a little bit. I tickle the ivory."
This is like a total Kadog moment, right?
Totally.
Where Kadog would just be like, yeah,
I've sampled it a time or two.
play a little bit.
Let me just let me do Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven perfectly. How's that sound? And so check this out, dude. This is pretty fucking cool. He busts out. This is the guy that just delivered my ham and pineapple.
Look at him go, man.
Look at that poops. Oh, is that a baby grand I see in the corner?
What if they didn't want him to play the piano? What if they're just like, dude, I just want my pizza?
They probably are. It's getting cold right now. Dude, take your $3 tip and get the fuck out.
Who doesn't want to go viral, E? Come on.
That's a good point.
This is the third movement, by the way. This is
Oh, I know.
This is a tough
Damn.
part of the fucking Moonlight.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
third movement's
Yeah.
it's no joke.
I mean, if you can get through Moonlight Sonata, you know, most people will show off by playing the first stanza, but it's like if you can get into the second and third movement,
What an incredible talent. God, it's amazing.
isn't that crazy?
Left hand going. Look at that go.
I've seen Bugs Bunny do this too. It's incredible. He's like, what's his name? Let me just plug in here. So Paul is the guy. Paul and Julie filmed this, and Paul is the one. They're in Shelby Township.
Oh, I didn't
And,
know this was local.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
that's Bryce. Of
Way
course
to
his
go,
name's
Bryce.
He's 18. Bryce Dudal. Bryce said, "I'm mostly self-taught. I memorized Moonlight when I was around 6 or 7."
That son of a bitch.
He told
Wow.
he said he would spend hours listening to the piece and then trying to recreate it himself on a keyboard that his parents bought him. It was a long process. You have to like sit there and think and try to put it on the piano piece by piece. I couldn't read music back then. I would sit there and listen for hours and hours and try to figure it out. He was about 12. His parents found him a music teacher. Was like, we think this kid maybe has something.
Yeah.
Teach him, and so the teacher helped him perfect Moonlight Sonata and taught him how to read music. The thing that kind of pisses me off, though, he's like, a lot of people sit down at the piano and play something slow and beautiful. When I play for someone, I like to go all out. I want to fucking show it. Like, dude, you could pull pus from that, right?
It's a cocky son of a bitch.
Yeah. Most of my customers, when I'm delivering pizza, they have no idea the extreme talent
Of course
I have.
they. Oh no, that's not.
No,
that's
he
a
didn't
quote.
say that. I
Okay,
added that, but that's basically what he's saying.
Okay.
I have extreme talent, and most of my customers don't know when I order. When
I
they order
really,
pizza.
honestly, God, it's awesome. It really is super fucking hard to play the piano. I know I watched my sister learn how to do it, and anyone that has ever watched it. But I want to know really how this went down. I want to see him just like, oh, what do you got, a piano over
Yes, I guarantee you that's how
Yeah,
it went down.
I
He's like,
understand.
"Oh, yeah, what do you got?
He
What-
does it
so
at every
Steinway?
But, like,
customer's
And
house.
they're like,
He's-
yeah, do you play? Well, a little bit.
The pizza place at Hungry Howie's in Sterling, where did I say Sterling Heights, Shelby Township, where he works. They probably know, like, He only does 2 deliveries a night. As soon as he finds
He's
a
been on
piano,
concerts every
he's
other-
we can't send him out with 3 pizzas to deliver. It's
Yeah.
like he's going to go there. He's going to ask if they have a piano. If they do, we're not going to see him for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
He's probably getting a $100 tip every time he goes in there and just like,
He's passionate.
I show off bigly, show him my skills. He's like, all they see is a pizza delivery guy usually. It's like,
What
yeah,
are they
dude.
supposed to
You're
see?
standing there in a T-shirt and a hat on backward with a pie in your hand.
yeah, you're a pizza delivery guy. I mean, it is what it is. He's, by the way, I stopped playing piano about a year ago because I'm such a sweet baseball player that I needed to focus on. Yeah, he's an amazing baseball player. He's actually got a scholarship to Macomb Community College to play ball there. And he's like, so I just really had to focus on baseball and just kind of put the piano off to the side. But now that I've gone viral, it's kind of piqued my interest with a cue. And I've got a renewed interest in playing the
How
piano
much of this
again.
is real and how much is this you saying this? Because some of this
Well, I'll tell you.
was it real when you said about
He stopped playing the piano about a year ago to focus on baseball. The team got a baseball scholarship to Macomb Community.
Yeah.
Sports have taken up much of his time, but his newfound fame has sparked a renewed interest in music.
Oh, my
I don't
God.
think I slandered him at
Okay,
all. I think
no.
I did it my
You
own way,
Put
but
some words in his mouth, maybe.
maybe a few.
But it's
Well,
new.
I know what a kid's thinking. He's thinking, I need to appear humble, and it's hard to appear humble anyways because I'm sweet. So I'm going to do my best.
You're worried about screwing up the digits playing ball, man.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not a shortstop or something,
Mm.
you know, really take a beating. But, dude, that would be so cool to have that talent.
I
though.
know.
Wouldn't that be awesome to
Yes.
be able to just be like, walk into someone's house and be like, oh, is that a baby grand?
I wish
Nah.
I wish I had that one thing. That'd be amazing.
Wouldn't it be awesome?
Yes.
Like, oh, when I was 6, I started doing this. I'm 18 now. I quit a year ago, but I can forever do this. And just bust out Moonlight Sonata. Like, I mean, that is such a closing move if you're trying to crush puss. It just is. There's no girl on the planet who's going to go, whatever, dude. Whatever. Lame. Like, anyone's going to be impressed by that.
Yeah.
That guy needs to go up to the electric forest. They have this setup there. Well, they have a piano like in the middle of the forest.
Happy Forest.
Exactly.
Sure.
And
How's the turtle family?
but it's got like, you know, it's set up there and then it has speakers that like go out. So if someone sits down there and noodles on the you know, someone just sits down there and decides to start.
Everybody can enjoy.
Right, the art
just-
that's being
just
made.
tickling
No,
a
I
little bit.
totally get it. Ian.
But if
I
that,
totally
but,
get
but
it.
if that guy,
Oh, is that a set of 88s I see there? I'm just going to tickle the eye.
but imagine if this dude just walked into the forest and just fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even be going to sets that night because he'd be banging so many chicks.
Crushing it.
Friend, we were all fans of Friends, the TV show, right?
Oh,
You-
I
yeah,
was.
you know.
I mean,
I know I was.
Yeah, I didn't love it, but it was fine. Yeah.
I think
I loved it for a while, dude. Honestly,
I
it
did too.
wasn't
I was
until
known
recently.
as a Friends expert on the
Really?
Drew and Mike show. Yeah, so
Wow.
if we did like Stump the Staff trivia, we would have different categories and they
I
would bounce
owned
around.
all of
Simpsons
them on
and
DVD.
Friends were. It was like if there was a Friends question, was the guy. I couldn't answer him now, but I thought we decided a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago we were somehow talking about it. It was like I don't think it holds up.
no.
No,
I don't think it does.
I still watch it once in a while, but not. No,
it does not hold up, right?
No, it's not. It's too corny. Punchline, set up punchline, set up punchline. The
Yeah.
laugh track. That they all have their catchphrase. You know, how you doing and
How
stuff.
you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in that pre-Office mold of sitcom.
right.
Exactly.
Office changed everything.
Well, Jennifer Aniston was given an interview to InStyle, and she's talking about like the door being open for a reboot.
Didn't we
of
just
that
talk
show.
about this last week and say no, that couldn't work?
Yes, we were
That's
talking
funny.
about shows that could.
Yeah.
You know, with this
Yeah,
show, where-
Frasier, etc.
Yeah, we thought Frasier could work. I mean,
Yeah.
he's still a
He
therapist.
didn't,
and-
but we did.
yeah.
He was adamant that it couldn't.
Even Seinfeld, we were like, yeah, you could still do that. I mean,
Yeah.
but Friends, we were all like, no, Friends wouldn't work today. And I thought
Well,
Jennifer
especially-
Aniston was the one person of the cast because they've been asked about, would you do a movie? Would you do a reboot? Like before they even
movie,
stopped the
oh my
show.
God.
Yeah, and
Friends go to Europe together and shit. Or I guess they did
They
that
already did that one.
yeah.
when Ross was getting married to Emily.
Yes. yes.
When he brought, is that when he showed up with
She was-
roses at the
Was she
airport?
the worst? You know what? Ross had the shittiest girlfriends.
I know.
The Asian girlfriend.
I know.
No, the
that was Janice.
That was Janice, and that was Chandler Bong's girlfriend.
Right.
That's right. That's
But
right.
Ross had these shitty girlfriends.
I know. You're right. Everyone but Rachel, and even you could argue about Rachel, but everyone but her was terrible.
Oh,
in my
that
opinion.
Emily English chick.
Yeah,
I think she was
I'm trying to
intentionally
picture her.
shitty so that everybody hated her and wanted Ross to be with
Could
what's
be.
her name, Rachel.
Rachel. Yeah, Rachel Green.
Yeah.
I thought Jennifer Aniston was the one because she's probably made it like they had the most successful career by far, right?
sure,
I
yeah.
mean, Courtney Cox,
dude, her and LeBlanc are the only ones working. If you think about it, like
David Schwimmer's done a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, he did the OJ thing.
He's
right?
done. He's did that. He's
Yeah.
been on Curb. He's done some
Okay.
play stuff. So he's actually done just not stuff that you know,
Yeah.
but
Courtney Cox did do the Bruce Springsteen video though, which is
She was on that Cougar Town, which was
I love
decent for a while.
was the Scream movies before
I don't know.
that show? Or?
No, I don't
No.
think so. Maybe during.
yeah, probably during.
That's right, because that's where she met her husband,
Arquette.
David Arquette. Right.
But she hasn't
Courtney
done
Cox
much in a
or
while. Honestly, has Aniston done much in a while? I know she pops up here and there.
She did some, romantic comedies that were really
But she's
good.
not
Didn't
considered
she do
like a leading lady, like a Jennifer Lawrence or something like that. No way,
She was getting close. Didn't she have a
Well, what
bomb
happened
like
to her
a year ago? What was it, The Cake or something? Where it was like a dramatic
she-
role, and they
really?
thought it was going to be huge, and it bombed.
See, I see her constantly
Look it
just
up,
getting those roles as like the mean boss type role.
But I think she's
kind of a
great in
comedy type-
those. She was
Okay,
funny as
and
shit.
That's
in
what I'm
those
saying
movies.
though. I don't see her as like a dramatic, like a Scarlett Johansson kind of rival, right?
Yeah, but
She's
you're
not
talking
going
about
for the
20
same-
years age difference though, too.
Not
Aniston's
anymore,
like
anyway.
50.
My point is I don't think she's total speculation that she's like reading for the same sort of film work
Right.
that those top actresses are. I think she's probably getting work, but kind of like the step down.
See that movie? Okay, I guess it was 2014. Cake. That was supposed to be like
Good.
this amazing movie, and I think
Never
it
heard of it.
fucking bombed. Click on that E, will you? The Cake. You
Yeah,
see it there?
We're
with-
the Millers. I remember her in that.
She was funny in that. I don't even know what the plot is of this. Is she a chef or something? Or
The funny thing about them
Yeah,
saying
whatever.
that Friends coming back is that it just went through this thing like about a year ago or something where I remember it was big on Twitter where millennials had gotten outraged by Friends because of the fat shaming of Monica,
Right.
the often just easy gay jokes with Chandler. So like it was a lot of just
Oh, it would have to change its writing style.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Millennials need to understand that, dude. It was a lot different a couple years ago. Like saying fag wasn't a thing.
What's up, fags?
What up, fags? Like that was just like a term of endearment. It wasn't like a mean thing.
Well,
and
the
I know
show's-
now it's shameful. It is, but it just wasn't. If you imagine if there's some saying you have, that right now that is like what you guys say, and imagine 4 years from now, all of a sudden it's just, how dare you? Like you'd be like, what?
Well,
It was
is there a
big deal
saying
back
that
then.
categorizes someone that we use right now that's not offensive, but we could think about? What's up, fellas?
well,
Hey-
my
hey,
God,
dudes.
Yeah,
it-
oh,
it
dudes.
does that man or
Fellas,
woman,
dudes.
Jay? I mean,
Dudes, what up, dudes?
What if dude gets taken from us?
how dare you
can't take
assume by
dude.
looking at
No
me that I'm a
way.
guy or a girl, Jay? That's the thing. Like how. So I mean,
That's a bright line, dude. I am not giving up, dude. I'm not. There's no way. I don't care what anyone says. They can call me any fucking name in the book. They can tag me with any name they want. I'm not giving up, dude.
Dude, it's it, huh?
I'll
Line in the
say
sand.
fag around in closed quarters like this right now where no one can hear us. It's just us in a room, and it's like, what up, fags? Like, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But out in public, I wouldn't do that publicly. I wouldn't be like, what's up, fag? Yell it
Right.
across the street. Here, it's a safe space. So I'm fine with it. I thought Aniston, though, was always the one that didn't want to. She was like, fuck that. I've got all these movie
right?
roles.
She
I
was
don't
a
need to-"
bitchier. She was the person that was more snobby or
Yeah.
diva
She was
ass.
definitely the one with the highest ceiling. You know,
Yes.
if you looked at those five, you're like, oh yeah, she's the star right there.
Well, she says it's often a topic of discussion between Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, and her. And she's like, I don't know. It was the greatest job I ever had. I don't know what it would look like today, but you never know. So many shows are being successfully rebooted. Before that show ended, people were asking if we were coming back. Courtney and Lisa and I talk about it all the time. I know Matt LeBlanc doesn't want to be asked that question anymore, but maybe we could talk him into it. Or we just give it some time, and then Lisa, Courtney, and I could reboot The Golden Girls and spend our last years together on wicker furniture.
There you go.
It's kind of funny. Yeah, it would be interesting to see how they could make that, because the show would absolutely, the whole style of it would have to change.
It's very relationship oriented, and you take them out of their
Well, what are you gonna
20s.
do? Monica and them are Monica and
my
Chandler
point,
were
dude.
married, and it's right. They're not even in the city anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
And can you have a character that just bangs random chicks anymore? I mean, is that socially acceptable?
It's uncouth.
boy, oh boy, I mean, it just seems like you're an
How you
asshole.
doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
And chicks are just putting out for him.
Panty dropper.
Dr. Drake.
Drake Ramore.
Drake Ramore, yeah.
It was always funny. Like, the more I look at it now, I look at Joey, and not that he's ugly or not, but it's like the idea that was the dude that was just like,
It's all about attitude. He's
right?
just-
I guess.
yeah.
I guess.
Confidence.
What is I always liked Matt, the other guy's character, Chandler Bong.
Yeah.
I always liked his character. I wonder what he's doing because he went through like
He's had issues, man.
horrible like
Dude, his weight
opiate
gain
addiction.
and loss.
That was
during
opiates.
that show. That was hilarious to watch.
And alcohol, dude.
Isn't that hilarious when you pop on like, oh, just check out season 4? It's like, whoa, what happened to Chandler?
Barely keep his pants on. He's so skinny. And then two days later, he's friggin' blown up.
Mm-hmm. I think he was working at like a like one of those Malibu centers for people that are addicted. I thought he was like doing some help over there because he had a really bad painkiller addiction for a while.
Whether it's been the drugs or not, and he's had probably the least successful out of all of them. Every other one of them have had
Yeah,
stuff.
Kudrow's had some movies.
Kudrow's done stuff. LeBlanc had stuff. Courtney Cox had stuff. Chandler or Matthew Perry had so many failed stuff though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
What did he
I
do?
could
He
see
had a
him in a couple of
sitcom.
Son, he's had a few, dude, and they
Like
all
on NBC
failed.
or
yes,
something?
and they
Yeah.
failed. Like
What's
Matt
it called?
LeBlanc.
Sunny?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like LeBlanc even had a show on Showtime that was, went 6 seasons, and I thought it was great. I mean, they've all had some stuff here and there, and his all failed after Friends. At
Thank
least
God he
from
was
what I
making
remember.
as much money as he was. Those guys are set no matter
$1 million
what.
an episode.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Near
Oh,
the
yeah.
end.
What are they doing? 22 episodes a year
Yeah,
at $1 million an episode? Do that for a couple years?
Yeah, and they famously stuck together, right? They all just said, look, we're not going to
Yeah.
allow them to try to pull us apart by paying this one more and that
Yeah.
one less. Let's just agree that as a group, we're going to split it all, and we want $1 million.
I loved that too. I thought that was really cool. Where it was like, these
Probably
guys going to
saved
bat
them.
for.
Probably saved them a couple seasons, because it
For
would have
sure.
it would have torn it apart.
Could you imagine?
usually does.
Because usually you're in the room together. You're working the same hours. You're given these lines. You perform them, and it's like there were more popular characters season to season. Jennifer Aniston with her hairdo was the shit. Could you imagine if it was like, oh, she's making $2 million an episode and we're making $750,000? Like, dude, that would be tough. And it's hard to get people that have that level of success and can demand that to go, nope, flat. All of us make the same no matter what. We started that day one. I think that was Schwimmer's thing.
They must have genuinely liked each other.
Yeah. Well, dude,
They
I've
were
talked
friends.
about it. I've talked about it in my career, how much I respected the fact that Drew was like, I'm not signing this contract until you take care of Mark and Mike. And it was like, yeah, we'll take care of them. Yep, they are good. He's like, good. And when you do, I'll sign this contract. And it was like,
Yeah, did
Drew,
you tell me
just
like how many times they
sign
tried to
it.
just be like, come
Yeah,
on, come on.
And it was they weren't going to take care of us like they should. I mean, they would have done whatever, but he knew his only power was going, no, I'm not signing Dick. Get theirs. Once theirs is signed, then I'll sign this. Everything looks great. I'll sign it as soon as they're signed. And it was like, fuck, that's awesome. Most people wouldn't do that. Kind of reminds me of the Friends guys.
Hey, look, listen, if you want the absolute best automotive experience possible, go see our friends at Zotford and Holly. Zotford has a massive selection of new and pre-owned vehicles ready for you to choose from. Their award-winning service department has brand new free loaners for you to enjoy while your vehicle's still being serviced. Zotford has a fully stocked parts department and 2 state-of-the-art body shops. So, as to Mike, Jay, and Etard's point, Zotford has you covered. Plus, when Zotford takes care of you, you're really taking care of the podcast. So thank you. As mentioned yesterday, supporting our sponsors is just so key. So thank you to everybody who tries to, even if the deal doesn't work out or whatever. If you try to contact them, see what they can do for you, that's awesome.
That's all you can do. I know. I go to the grocery store, and I just the other day, you guys were getting ready to leave, and I was
Pull
like,
your ID out, getting ready to
Yeah.
buy
Right,
your
yeah,
groceries.
you're about to buy
I get
groceries, so
carded.
you had to pull your ID out,
Yeah.
obviously.
But I bought some Kowalski skinless sausages, those stadium kibasas.
Lovely.
I fucking love them. And you guys were leaving. I was like, would you like a kibasa? And he's like, I would. And so he stayed here for like an hour, and we made kibasas.
Guys ate sausages.
Yeah, we ate sausages
Together.
They're delish. What about the olive loaf?
Haven't sampled the olive loaf yet. No, I'm a big fan usually. Typically, I'm a big
I
olive
hear
loaf
it's fucking
guy.
amazing.
Yep.
From everyone I've heard that's
I
had it.
know.
That and fruitcakes at the holidays.
Yeah.
The fruitcake loaf, I'm a big
No,
fan
you know
of
what?
that too.
For real, honestly, I'm not just trying to say, but ever since we started talking about it way back when we actually talked to them about how they have the potato salad,
Kowalski.
my mom gets the potato
Yeah.
salad, and it's
Good
it
shit.
is fucking legit. And I'm not saying I'm a snob for potato salad, but I like potato salad, and we don't get anything different anymore because it's fucking that good.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I buy the same one. I
Brand
think it's
loyalty.
great.
Good job, boys.
Absolutely. You know, it's History Day with Big E.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
going to get
yeah.
a learn on here shortly. Are you ready, E?
What century is this?
It's a little different situation today. It's technically,
Oh.
I mean, it's the whatever in the 20th century, but it's not necessarily. It's you'll see. It's a little different.
Well put.
Very good. I'm excited for that. Looking forward to it. Doorman, this is common when you got these high-rise, buildings, apartment complexes, condos in New York City. Midtown New York is where this took place at the Tudor City Place, high-rise in Midtown. A group of young women started comparing notes, and all of a sudden last weekend, one of them just gets this random dick pic on her cell phone. She's like, huh, who is this?
Doorman.
And he's like, what fun would it be if I just told you? Guessing is half the fun. And so she's talking to
Everyone likes a good guessing game.
another person there. She's like, I just got this fucking dick pic. And this other girl's like, huh, so did I. Wow. I asked him who this was and blah, blah, blah. This other girl starts bitching to the guy, like, who the fuck are you? So he sends her a jack-off picture, like him coming.
Perfect.
That's got to be video. Can you capture the moment? Because she says he sent me an ejaculation photo.
He probably videoed it and then like screenshot the video, right?
That's not a bad move. I didn't think about that. Because trying to get an action shot while you're wristing
Yeah.
of it firing would be hard, right?
Remember
Like
we videoed something the other day. Definitely not a dick coming, but and
Right.
then we snapshot on the video.
Good point.
I bet that's what he did. The moment.
So there's at least 3 women who get this, from an anonymous number, these dick pics. One of the recipients, 27-year-old Christina, I'm assuming she's hot as shit. She replied to the message asking who this is from. Guessing's the fun part. Your name's Christina, and if I tell you, that's going to give it away. I was like, the first picture you sent me was a photo of your penis, and now you're trying to act coy? And that's what he's like, oh, yeah? Here it is coming. So we sent her a ejaculate photo. She had no idea it was the doorman until she mentioned it to a neighbor who had received the same pictures. At the same time, a third recipient managed to get him to tell her that he works in the building with a photo of his bare chest, and he's got a distinctive tattoo on it. Just proving how utterly moronic these dudes are, I mean, dude, really? You're gonna you want to see more? Okay, I'll send you a chest photo with this tattoo that
I'm
has
not
my
going to show you
name
my
on it.
face, but
So I showed the doorman the picture, a different doorman, and she was like, do you guys have access to our cell phone numbers? He's like, oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, we can just look at it right up here. And that's what he was doing, was looking up hot chicks' phone numbers and just being like, here's my dick, check it out. And so I showed the doorman the picture. He said, that's our locker room, and the brown box in the background is a shipment of our new uniforms. And so they were able to whittle it down. And then the tattoo, the boss is like, okay, fuckface.
ugh.
And so he was fired. Here's the good news, though. He's not been arrested because it's apparently just showing your dick in photo form, even if it's unsolicited, is not like a major crime. It's like a low-level thing. You can really send your dick in picture form to a lot of women and not get in much trouble for it. I didn't know that. Yeah, I thought if you were just sending your dick pic to chicks everywhere, like that could be a problem. That's
Yeah, you'd
harassment.
assume
But
that, yeah.
sending unwanted naked pics is considered harassment in the second degree, a violation, not an arrestable offense. So, gentlemen, if you're out there on the fence, like, should I, should I not? It's not arrestable.
I love that the conversation. She saved the contact as dick pic.
What does it say? Yes, but you're not going to know my last name. Why? Okay, last hint. We only talk to each other professionally, hence my hesitation. With quotations or not? Okay, without. Okay, so then you work with me. Didn't say that, and I'm not saying anything else for now. Ha ha. How did you get my phone number? Forget it. You're really stubborn. LOL. And I think you're really sick. You know that. And find new underwear and better grammar. Ooh, she's bagging on his underwear.
I like that he's using the emojis, the crying, using crying, or with the face laughing so hard it's crying.
Yeah. She's got another message she needs to check, too.
Oh, yeah.
Click back. She's got one.
Oh,
How's,
going on
how's your
L-
battery doing?
She's-
Battery doing all right?
I
Yeah.
always look at the battery. And
Looks like-
when I see it red and there's like 13%, I'm like, I'm worried for those people.
The other thing is, I noticed she's on LTE,
Yeah,
which
she
means
might wanna
she has got a
work
lot
on
of
that
gigs.
Wi-Fi more.
she's
Yeah,
not,
she's not getting
worried
Wi-Fi.
about. Yeah,
She's in New York City. She's probably making plenty.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Dick
yeah,
pic.
you're right.
I want to know if that's AM or PM,
How
too.
invasive, man. Again, more evidence. It just sucked to be a chick. Like,
Dude, I just...
fucking guys. Like, again, I always come back to this. Like, how does sex become so important that you're doing
Well,
this devious shit?
It is important, but the unsolicited dick pic, unless you have
Hold on, dude.
Back up.
Of course, sex is important.
Well, yeah, I was just
overall.
wanted to state that for the record because you were making it sound.
Where these people, like, come on, man, get a fucking life, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna look up a chick who just walked by you, lives in the building, you think is hot, and you think this is gonna fucking work, like. How invasive is that? Oh, I'll look up the number I shouldn't have, but I'm going to go in my business's little directory here and find it, and I'm going to look it up, and I'm not going to tell her who I am, and I'm going to keep sending her shit and act like it's a big mystery, and I'm going to freak her out. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah,
that might be exciting for you, man, but not for her.
Ever.
I mean,
right?
Ever.
Has that ever worked for anybody?
No.
Just sending a random girl you don't really know a dick pic, and it's so easy now with like Messenger. You don't even need to be friends with this person and have their phone number. You can just send them dick pics all day long.
You could send celebrities dick pics if you
Of
wanted
course.
to. I mean, that's a funny thing.
I mean,
Get a
unless
fucking life, man.
unless you've got a gorgeous, and I mean gorgeous dick, and there are a handful of them out there.
Where? When? I've never seen one.
Well, they're rare. they are rare.
In all my
but
porno watching, I always.
if you've got the four-leaf clover of dicks, I mean, I could maybe excuse that a little bit. Like I've been given this gift, and I need to show it off.
I think you just brushed out. You just said there's a handful of great dicks out.
I'm assuming there are. I don't
You said
have
there
one.
were.
You don't have one. Maybe Jay does. I don't know. But
Dicks are gross across the board.
I know they are.
Everybody's dicks are gross.
guys need to
So your
understand.
assumption doesn't hold, as Ease does. To E's point, every dick is gross, man.
Yeah, but okay, then gay,
Nobody-
gay dick
ugh.
pics. Gay dick pics are okay then.
What?
If you're sending it to another guy, I would think that's acceptable. If you got a gorgeous dick and you're sending it to a gay guy, he might be cool with
Again,
that.
faulty premise. Gorgeous dick.
Yeah, I know it's tough. Chicks, what guys need to understand, and guys, we got to get this to our heads. I know it's hard because you see a chick and it's like, hell yeah. Immediately you picture banging her. You're thinking of what you do to her, man, and you're going to fall short anyways most of the time. But girls do not respond to guys the way guys look at chicks, right? Like, they're emotional based. They're way more emotional than they are just like the base level of our build. And so just sending a chick a random dick pic there are very few girls that are going to be like, hell yeah. And the girl that's going to be fired up for that, getting just like an
Gross.
out of the blue dick pic, you probably don't want to hang out with her anyways, right? I'm just guessing.
I think you're going to ultimately close that as the girl's doorman. Like, at some point, she's going to realize you're her doorman.
Yeah. Exactly. How is this different? Is this different, though, than, what does it ever work when some guy is just like whistling at a girl from across the street?
No,
and
that's why I
barking
don't
at
get
her?
that shit. I don't get it.
Well, France has outlawed that, by the way. They had a situation a couple weeks ago. This girl, Marie Legueux, and she was walking on the street, and some guy was like, hey, woo, 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 whistling.
Viva la tour, by the way.
Yeah, sure, of course. And she was like, hey, shut the fuck up, and he punched her. And so they're like, all right, enough of this. We cannot have this harassment on the streets. And so they're making it illegal now. You can get fined like $700 if you're whistling at a girl or catcalling, which is kind of shameful. I mean, this is the homeland of Le Pew. You know what I mean? Like, Pepe.
He's the king.
He's the king. Like, dude, that's part of your heritage. You're going to outlaw catcalling in France? What? What is Le Pew going to do? Holy
I'd like to
shit.
go through a Le Pew episode and see how much he'd owe by the end.
Are you kidding me? When he's just like,
Pigeon.
Pigeon, and he flips her down, and he's stroking her hair.
700.
Oh.
700.
And they got those hearts going off,
Yeah.
and he's trying to just kiss her, and she's turning her head. I mean, it's basically a rape scene. You're
And
watching a rape
by the way,
scene.
she's a cat.
Yeah. Oh, no. He is not the cat. What, does he think he's a cat?
No, he thinks she's a skunk.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, she gets painted every time.
Yeah, she walks by, and there's a paintbrush, always with white paint on it.
Yeah.
And she walks by and gets the stripe on the back, and then he is fucking rock for her.
Penelope Pussycat.
Is that her name?
Penelope Pussycat. Yeah.
Penelope, there you go. Yeah, so harassment in the street has previously not been punished. From now on, it will be. Marlene Schiappa, gender equality minister. Whoa. Holy shit. How about that for a title? Gender equality minister.
How long before Canada gets one of those?
Oh.
We like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind.
So she is just a career stick in the mud, right? Isn't that what that means?
Yeah,
For a job, I'm just a stick in the mud. Some critics say the harassment measures will mark an end to French romance. Because the French are, they're known for
They're
their
known for their
suave-
rapey shit.
Yeah, they're lapunous, right? That's what I call it, is lapunous.
Lapuosity.
So we don't want to stomp out she told Reuters, we're not looking to stamp out flirtatious behavior and kill the culture of the French lover. It sounds like you are. What's key is that the laws of the French Republic forbid insulting, intimidating, threatening, and following women in public spaces. All right. I can get behind that. I'm not for that. I don't know. I've just never been a catcall guy. Never. I know you haven't. I can guarantee you haven't. I just don't understand that. Like, I would much rather like run up to that girl and talk to her than be like, "Hey, baby," and whistle at her like.
So lame.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. Hey, let's take a quick time out. We got to learn something today, Jay. I mean, we're getting ready for the weekend here. We got to get a learn on, and I think he's going to bring it today. Just get the feeling from his setup a few minutes ago. So we'll get to that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the show. I think he's got something he really wants to say.
He's furiously writing some notes at this point.
Oh, it's for Jay.
Oh, wow.
Note for Jay. Is it legible?
It is.
Is it worth?
He was reminding me that we need to announce another in-studio giveaway.
Oh,
Yeah, members. Hey, members are eligible for in-studio visits.
sure.
I think that's a pretty big prize.
Yeah.
And Yeezus and I picked one out of the hat over the
They
break.
all. What is the deal? They all have to bring beer and pizza or food with them.
Yeah.
That's their half of the deal, and then they get to come hang out with us.
Come hang out with us. Yeah,
Right,
usually on
okay.
a Sunday. Sundays work pretty good for us. But Joe Klarchik, thank you for your support,
Well.
sir, as a member.
Yep.
And you have been chosen. You were the chosen one, sir.
All right, Joe. Let's
Hope
get
to
it on
see
the
you soon.
books and get your ass in here, Joe. Well, we appreciate all the support. We really do.
We can correspond via email and figure out a date. But
Yeah.
we'll be looking to do more of those. Those are fun, and I think it's a real nice opportunity for members.
Yeah, for sure. And it's fun for us too, getting to meet people and thank them in person. It is cool. I was right when we went into a break, we started getting messages, and I don't know that we've confirmed this, but I wanted to ask you, Jay, if this changes anything. When we were talking about Urban Meyer earlier and the assistant coach, wide
remember
receiver
it. Yep,
coach,
Zach
Smith, his wife is saying she was abused and blah, blah, blah. And so he's
Courtney
been
Smith,
fired.
not Courtney Thorne Smith.
Exactly.
I do remember the story now. Go ahead.
Part of that story, we were talking about how, hey, you got shit-faced. You guys were together. You went home early, prude. And then he stayed out drinking with his buddies till 3 a.m. And then he brought one of his buddies home who was sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, and we were kind of like, is that really the end of the world? You knew he was going out. He's getting drunk. He's bringing home a buddy. We're informed that perhaps that buddy was a chick.
Ooh. Does that change anything?
Yeah.
So if you were out drinking with me and Deuce,
I will say this,
T-Roy,
though. What I remember about her interview was she didn't say it was a chick, but she also made clear that he was trying to get into my bed. And I'm just like, look, you're
her
home.
husband.
Yes.
Not like the
Correct.
guy that was brought home.
So it's not as if she's finding this guy humping the friend, the colleague on the couch.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of rude, right?
It makes a little more sense why she would fly off the handle.
Yeah.
Like you brought
What?
a girl home.
Wait a
to
minute, why? They can all be friends, right? Guys and girls can be friends.
Sure.
I mean, I don't understand.
I guess it changes it a little bit, but if he walks in the door and they're loud and she's like, I'm crashing on the couch, and he goes right to his room, I don't know. I wouldn't make a stink of that personally, but I suppose I could
Your
see
girl
why.
brought a dude home. Just was like, yeah, this dude I work with is on the couch. We were just out drinking. It's okay.
I would hope that the girl I'm with, I trust enough that she's not gonna do
Bringing
that.
dudes home.
Well, that she's, and if she is, they're
Yeah.
truly just a friend. You know what I mean? Like you would trust Gab.
Or at least she thinks they're just
if,
friends.
If Gab
That's the
brought
thing.
me home, if Gab was like, if you were like, I'm going home early, and she brought me home, was like
course
Mike's
it
sleeping on the
depends on who the
couch.
person is, yeah.
You know, you'd be like, well, of course I trust my wife.
Yeah.
I don't trust Mike. Fuck him. But I trust my wife. And so I don't know. But I guess that does make a little more sense why she would go, you brought a fucking girl
Yeah.
home to our house, you asshole.
It's just a wrinkle to the story. It's not relevant to the overall story. but,
Right. Yeah.
It was just relevant to our speculation as to
Yes. And it just,
how that conflict occurred.
for full context, we figured we'd throw that out there because we were absolutely acting like it was just one of his boys, and it does change it a little bit, not in a huge way, but maybe at least it makes a little more sense. That's all.
I don't know why it should make
and
sense.
we don't
Everyone
know.
can
We
be
don't even
friends.
know. We just got messages from a couple people saying, by the way, that was a chick he brought home, not a guy. So we figured we'd let you guys know. Anyway, Yeezus, I feel like as we go into the weekend, I really want to learn something cool today. I really do. I'm usually not as excited as Jay is about this. He's a visual learner.
Boy.
But today, for some reason, I'm like, I would like to gain some knowledge today.
As a visual learner, I'm somewhat dismayed that there's not already a picture loaded and ready to be pulled over.
Why
What
do
does
they
that mean?
Pull them over later usually.
So
This
you
day
do
in
have
history
visual aids.
with Big E.
Kinda. So I had a hard time today, to be honest with you, finding some stuff. So I had to dig a little harder on
Wait.
something to do.
How is it possible? Like, we've
I
been
don't
a
find-
country for hundreds of
I know,
years.
but I went.
We've been a world for millions of years.
I know,
Why
well,
does it
I
even
don't-
have to be American history?
But I don't have to
dude?
be interested in.
I mean,
So
it's
gotta be
the
something-
summer 2018.
Summer
There
does-
has to
people-
be some shit going on that would not make it
This
very hard.
day in history.
Nothing happens in the
Bing.
summer.
Jay's about
Let's
to
see.
show you up, son of a bitch.
No, he's not. I didn't find anything.
Oh, wow. Iraq invades Kuwait in 1990.
I don't give a shit about
today.
that.
I remember
Oh,
where
wow,
I was.
yeah.
I was with our boy Ray. I was telemarketing
Cowie?
with our boy Ray, yeah. No
Love
shit.
Ray.
I don't fucking care about it. I'm not going to do history on that.
The
Did I tell you I'm
delegates
gonna
signed
kill
the
you, by the way?
Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, I've done a lot of revolutionary stuff.
Michael Andretti races to fast finish at Marlboro 500. God
Ooh,
damn it.
I
Are we going to
remember
hear
that.
about Michael Andretti?
No,
Jesus.
I remember that Marlboro car, though.
Did you too?
By the way, did I tell you I was going to kill you as far as Ray goes?
Hitler becomes Führer in 1934.
I need to explain this to you if I haven't, but I'm thinking about killing you off, Jay.
Freddy Krueger is born
Because-
in
oh,
Wes
I love
Craven's mind today, and or, I'm
Well-
sorry, Freddy Krueger creator Wes Craven is born.
Well,
1939. All right, here we go, Jesus.
I'm going to kill you
That's
off
where I went.
because Ray keeps asking me how Jay's doing like every
Oh,
day,
you
and
just
I
wanna
want
be
to
like,
just
dude,
go in there
he's
and be
dead,
like,
he's
yeah,
dead.
I'm sorry to report this, Ray. Feel free to spread it, but Jay was tragically killed in a horrific fire last night, and we pulled the plug on him. Gab's doing great. Kids are great. I moved right in there. I'm taking over responsibilities. I've got him covered because he was my boy, but he's no longer with us, so stop asking me how he's doing. Because, like, I go in there like 3 or 4 times a week.
I don't even think you have to do
And-
the Gab and the kids. I don't.
Yeah,
you
it might
Fre-
be a bit much. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you just
Not
go, he's
like,
dead.
as
He's
if,
dead,
as
dude.
if Gab would let me come over anyway. Like she'd be
I
like,
don't even think
"Fuck out of here."
Ray probably doesn't even know who she is. Just say Jay's dead. He's
Jay,
dead.
he died. Can I say it was tragic in a fire, or how do you want to be killed? Gunshot, fire,
Whatever.
jumped off a cliff? Was it suicide? Were you
Dead.
murdered? You're just dead. He's gonna ask questions, dude. I'm telling you, I better have a follow up.
Have a backstory.
Yeah, there's got to be a backstory. Did you commit suicide or were you murdered?
Freddy Krueger killed me. Jesus.
He was
Go.
murdered by Freddy Krueger.
so
I'm dying to hear about Freddy Krueger. Go
Jay
ahead.
did hit it right on. Jay did hit it on the head, and he did pick the one I ended up
All I
doing.
had to do was go down the list.
I
Eventually,
understand,
hit it.
but yeah, that's what I chose.
Wes
Craven
Craven.
was
Whoa,
born,
he did These Hills Have Eyes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And Scream.
born
Wow.
in Cleveland, Ohio. He had an undergraduate degree from in English and physiology
Sure.
or whatever, or no sociology. Sorry,
It's
sociology.
a perfectly placed or whatever.
Physiology.
Sociology. I apologize.
How did you wait? How did like if you said psychology instead of physiology, but how did you go from physiology to
Physiology.
sociology?
I don't
He's
know.
dyslexic, dude. He goes backward.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so he started with ology.
Yeah,
Ology,
sure.
shit.
That's exactly what happened. Anyway, so he was briefly actually a teacher way before he was a director. He was teaching at these schools, and then finally, as a friend, Tom Chapin informed him that his buddy, his brother, was in New York. Harry Chapin had a job opening.
Love Harry Chapin.
Had a job opening, and so he took a job for him.
You know Harry Chapin, right? E?
I know that one song. Yes.
Which one?
Cats in the Cradle.
Can you sing it for us?
No.
Just give us one.
In the cradle and a silver spoon, a little boy blue and a man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then.
You know we'll
Have a good time then.
Well, he had a film production company.
You
and-
remember, Ugly Kid Joe did it.
Oh, a great cover. My boy turned 10 just the other day. No, not in the usual way. He said, "Thanks for the ball, Dad. Come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw?" I said, "Not today. I got a lot to do." He said, "That's okay." And then he walked away, but he smiled and he said, "You know, I'm gonna be like you, Dad.
You know I'm gonna be like you.
He came from college just the other day. So much like a man I just had to say. Son, I'm proud of you. Can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, "What I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later. Can I have them, please?" I've
And
long
the cat's in the
since
cradle and the
retired.
silver spoon.
My
Little
son's
boy
moved
blue
away
and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then,
this
Dad.
was gonna
You know
happen.
we'll have a good time then.
I've long since retired. My son's moved away.
Dude, did
Okay,
this
okay.
song
I
mean
called him
something
up
to you?
just the other
I love
day.
it. I
you
love the
remember
song.
this
I will say
song?
that, but
I said, "I'd like to see
Okay.
you if you don't mind." He said, "I'd love to, Dad, if I could find the time." You see, the new job's a hassle and the kids have the flu, but it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then.
Jesus, you were saying?
Jesus, yeah, where were you?
So Wes Craven was buddies with that dude's brother, and he was like, he had a production company and needed some guy to help. So anyway, here's something interesting about Craven that you guys might not have known, although apparently if you know about him at all, it's not that big of a shock. But he left
He was
his
a fan of horror movies.
No, he left the academic thing. Couldn't get, wasn't getting paid as much right away. So he directed, wrote, and produced a lot of adult videos back in the day. And actually, I do have.
Do you have some titles?
He won't say them. They were all under these pseudonyms, and he won't really say this.
Is that a couple sisters?
But this is thought to be him in one of his things here.
Twin Mint.
Thunder Buns. Ooh.
That's,
Yeah, that's Wes.
More sexy, okay? Just something
and then it's kind of.
Dude, didn't you go to a dinner with Wes Craven, Mike?
Yeah.
Am I imagining that?
No, you're not. It was either Wes Craven or who played Freddy Krueger.
It was either Wes Craven.
If once you say the name,
Yeah,
I'll know.
England.
Look at this part.
I went with
Robert
Robert
Englund.
Englund. Was
Yeah, look at this part. This is when it gets. I think it's right here.
Just put your arms around each other. Put your arms around each other.
Yeah, coming up here.
Oh yeah. Let me see those Thunder Buns. Look at those practical panties covering the full buttocks.
He won't. But people say that's him.
Yeah, that's him.
So
That's Wes.
Rubik's smile.
anyway,
See the ivory, come on.
It hardly looks like a porn.
well,
Yeah, Jay, what you were talking about back in the day when radio was alive, they used to do like flyaways and these things, and nobody on our show wanted to go to this flyaway. It was in Los Angeles for an upcoming horror film, maybe one of Wes's. I can't remember, and I was like, "Fuck, I'll go." And they were like, "Okay." It was right after 9/11, and they put me up at the Mondrian, right next door to the Standard on the Sunset Strip. It was a beautiful hotel. It was like the #1 bar in LA was on top of the Mondrian where we were staying, which was the what the fuck was the name? It only held 45 people. That's where Derek had his balls out.
Is it Sky Bar?
The Sky Bar, yes, the Sky Bar in Los Angeles.
It's owned by Cindy Crawford's husband.
Maybe, and Derek had his balls out in the picture with Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
Nick Nolte was partying there. It was only holds 45
Deuce,
people.
man, you crazy old
Yeah,
man.
son of a bitch. And so they were like, "Yeah, we'll fly you out, put you up at the Mondrian, you go to this party." And it was in the Hollywood Hills, and they like shuttled you over to this place, and it was like, "This is the officially the biggest mansion in the Hollywood Hills," and some old bird owned it, and it was it was like a castle. It was unbelievable. Outside, there's like the statues, the statue of David. They're all standing there, all in just white.
That's Apollo bathing.
Yeah, but they were real people, just frozen in time. And then they were like, "Okay, it's time for the dinner." And then they shuffle us into this room with this big fucking wooden table, and there's just a few radio guys sitting around it. And all of a sudden, the table starts cracking, it opens up,
What?
and a hand comes out
Come
from
on.
the table. Yeah, and it's like, ah. And Robert Englund is sitting at the head of the table. And it's like, "This is fucking awesome." And so we all had steak or whatever we had. And then
Kind of dramatic just for a bunch of radio dudes to witness, no?
yeah, they wanted us to go back and promote.
Yeah.
Think about that. We just want you to go back and speak highly of our film. And
And
one of the-
you don't even remember what film it was.
I don't even remember what it was.
Wow.
What I remember was the studio paid for the trip and all that stuff. And so the studio was like, "In advance of your trip, we're sending you this care package." And I get like literally, I don't know, 50 DVDs of all their movies. Like, it was the studio that did like American Psycho, so I got American Psycho, and one of who's the guy that needs a neck man? What's his name? The Star Wars guy, George. Lucas's early film. What was the one? American
Graffiti.
Thank you. American Graffiti was in there. Like 50 films on DVD. I'm like, this is fucking tits. There's a care package and a gift basket waiting for me in my hotel, the Mondrian, which is all white, by the way. Everything is white.
Would you remember it if I told you the studio's name?
Maybe.
Little studio called Universal?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
That's the one.
That's the one, yeah.
Rings a bell.
And so they just sent you, like, here's like our 50 biggest movies of all time, so enjoy these. I was like, oh, cool. Still have them. Yeah, so that's the way they used to do it in radio, and nowadays it's like, we'll give you one ticket to a show in your backyard, and that's it. That's all you get. Days of flyaways and extravagance are fucking gone. Anyway, E, you were saying?
So I guess you're talking about Wes Craven. Anyway, so he did a lot of pornos at first because he just needed to make money.
Hell yeah.
His first movie, big one, ends up being this. I'm sure you guys, you probably haven't heard of it, but I had not either. But
Last House on the Left?
Last
Yes,
House-
we've heard of that.
oh,
E.
I don't know, I hadn't. I don't watch horror movies at all.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's a famous title.
90,000 to make it, 3 million it makes. It gets him, big enough. Finally, he does Nightmare on Elm Street, which you guys know.
Who was famously in the first role? Was in that?
Jonathan.
Depp.
Isis, did you know that without Jay saying it?
No, I did because I looked it up, but
He gets what happens to him in the movie?
I don't know. I don't
Gets
care.
sucked into the bed and then blood shoots
So
out
anyway-
the ceiling.
Right, yeah.
So the
I
thing
think he's Nancy's boyfriend, the lead, Nancy.
Oh.
I think he plays her boyfriend in the early scene, and then he's killed.
Freddy Krueger was named after a bully that had bullied Craven as a kid. And the iconic sweater of the colors
yeah.
was because he looked up and saw that red and green were the most clashing colors on the spectrum of the human retina. So that's why he chose that. The claws that he has, Jake can
knives.
relate to this because he looked up
It's the Tiger Lady Claw, man.
well, he looked up what was most fearful
Times
to
50.
most humans, and the idea of being clawed by an
Oh,
animal
God.
is very fearful to humans.
Yeah.
So that's
Do you
why he
remember the
created
song,
that.
Jay? 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Yeah.
3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix.
That's right.
7, 8, better stay up late.
That's right. 'Cause you
9,
couldn't go
10,
to
never sleep again.
Yeah, you couldn't go
Yeah.
to sleep because he'd come in your dreams and kill you.
And the deal
Remember
is,
him walking down the
Oh, yeah.
walking down the hallway with his arm. Ooh.
he
Love that
got
movie.
the idea for Nightmare based on there was this thing of Southeast Asian refugees. Did you know about this already?
It's kind of loosely based on a true
I didn't
story,
I didn't
right?
know this.
No,
stuff.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's these refugees had fled to America, and these men, three these dudes in separate cases had terrifying nightmares, and to the point where they didn't want to go to bed. They wouldn't they stayed up as long as they could because they were so scared of these nightmares. And then finally they did go to bed, and they all died, and that's where he kind of came up with it. And they were the deaths were mysterious. They didn't really seem to have a good cause of death, I guess, or something.
It was honestly my favorite movie growing up. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street so many times I can't even tell you.
It's
Yeah,
not his biggest.
loved it.
Screams end up being the biggest.
Yeah,
Scream,
sure.
Scream, and Scream. They say with Scream, they shifted around to a lot of directors, and a lot of people were trying to make it like more of a comedy than a horror. And the reason they liked him is that he saw some humor in it, but he wanted it to be a horror movie. He did not want it to be like a lot of other directors just saw it more as a comedy than a horror, and he wanted it to be a comedy.
It was a good mix of both.
Those were his biggest in the end.
Didn't he do
Some
what was
big
the
names in that movie, like for
Oh,
for
yeah.
a horror movie. Courtney Cox, Arquette, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Drew
and
Barrymore has that
Barrymore.
opening scene.
Yeah,
great
Kennedy.
scene.
What's his
Jamie
name?
Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy was in it.
A couple other people
Yeah.
too.
He
There were.
saved New Line. He saved New Line Cinema, by the way. With I know I'm kind of jumping back and forth here, but
Nightmare?
But with Nightmare, that
Yeah.
place was going, and this is kind of funny too. So a lot of his movies, he was really gruesome, and they'd come back with X ratings, not because of necessarily sex, but because they were just so gruesome. And with Last House on the Left, it went like a few times, and they cut some, it's too gruesome. He took 10 minutes out. They took 10 more, and they still just kept doing it. So finally, he had a buddy that worked with like the rating system, and they gave him an authentic R rating sticker versus an X rating, and he just slapped it on there and sent it out and said, "That's rated R." But
It's hilarious. Nice oversight.
Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell, yeah.
Ulrich,
Yep,
who was kind of
yep.
big at the time.
Yep.
Rose McGowan.
Yes, that's right.
By the way, he seems like a guy, honestly, who he didn't forget things. It seems like he does not, like I said, the Freddy Krueger was named after a kid that bullied him. They say that when they did Scream, this one high school was supposed to, they had agreed to do it. You could shoot here. Then right near the end, they're like, "Oh, I thought it was more of a comedy, not a horror," and they didn't do it, and they backed out. And so when they had the end credits, he added like, "No thanks whatsoever to the Santa Rosa City District Governing Board." Like, it's in the movie of him just being pissed that they changed the thing.
Holds
So
a grudge, huh?
he seems like he could hold a grudge for sure.
Is he still alive? By the
No,
way?
he's not. He died in
He died-
2015 from brain
Yeah,
cancer.
That's right.
Trying to think. maybe mostly what I
What
have,
about his
I guess.
casting of Michael Berryman in These Hills Have Eyes? That creepy dude without sweat glands, right?
Oh, is he the bald guy?
Yes, he's the guy in Weird
the-
Science, you know?
Is he the one that was in the Motley Crue videos?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The principal.
You know what I'm talking about.
He can make his ears move.
Yeah, he's
could
Oh
do something
yeah,
where his
yeah, I
ears
know what you're
move.
talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this too. Actually,
That
after
guy's
he
had
did,
a pretty solid career for a guy without sweat glands.
I would
mean,
agree with you.
honestly, I mean, you wouldn't think a guy without sweat glands could pull off the career he's pulled off, but he's done well.
well, after the, this is not
Congrats
to
to
do with-
Michael Berryman.
This has nothing to do with that guy, but this is one more just fact, I guess. After the last house on the left, even though it did well, it was just it was so controversial because of how gruesome it was.
Did he do that the horror movie I Know What You Did Last Summer or
I don't,
last
no, I don't think.
last
It
week?
didn't, no.
No.
But anyway,
I was thinking
so
he did the same guy that did Scream did
so
that.
after he did
Hold
those,
on. Not only does Berryman not have sweat glands, he
Yeah.
obviously has no hair, no fingernails.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn!
I think I remember that. Yeah, it's crazy.
All the more impressive that he's
Yeah.
appeared in several feature
Go ahead.
films and Motley Crue videos.
Remove your fingernails and your sweat glands
And
then
your
go-
hair.
and your hair and then go kill it in Hollywood. Go ahead.
Good luck.
Call me once you've accomplished that.
Does have good height though. So
What's his height?
he's 6'2".
That's heightest.
so he
Fucking heightest drive me nuts. I'm wrong with being shorter than 6'2".
So the reason how he ends up coming up with The Hills Have Eyes is that he's after he did the last house on the left, even though it was a success financially, it was just so controversial that still people weren't necessarily ready to just back him financially.
It's a cult movie. It's like Evil
Right.
Dead.
Well, anyway, so as Buddy tells him, dude, it's really easy to film in Nevada just because of desert and stuff, and Craven just goes out there, then begins to write a new horror film based on the locale, and it's the resulting film, The Hills Have Eyes.
You know, Berryman's coming off of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in '75.
Get outta here.
Rolls
What did
right
he-
into These Hills Have Eyes.
Did he have hair then? Or was he hairless
no,
then?
He's always been hairless. He was born with a
Wow.
condition that
That
removes all hair, fingernails, and sweat glands.
wow, what a weird condition.
It's called
Kinda like it.
hypohydrotic ectodermal dysplasia.
Sure. It's one of my favorite plasias. Could you imagine what kind of
What kind of
A-list
career he would have had?
leading man
You give him those
he
three
had?
things.
I mean, dude, if you give him some fingernails and some sweat glands, even keep the hair. Fuck it, keep the hair. If you give him some fingernails and some sweat glands,
Sky's the limit.
oh, he's a
He's got
leading
the
man.
height. He's got the height.
leading man is what he is. Yep, he's got the height for sure.
So I
You were
was
saying
saying, no, what I was going to say is what you should basically take out of all that shit is that the Wes Craven that made Scream and Freddy Krueger and all that shit might never have done that if he wasn't willing to direct and produce porn at the beginning. So
And so, what is the anniversary of today?
he was born. It was his
Oh,
birthday.
okay. Celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday, Wes.
Exactly.
Even
So
though
that's
you're dead.
Professor Easis's takeaway. Produce
Yeah.
porn whenever you can.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You never know where it may lead you.
Right.
I mean, it worked for the Italian Stallion. It worked for Wes Craven. Yeah, there's a long line of successful porn people.
Hey, everybody. Now's the time. Contact Realtor Doug Steinert. It's summer, and there's still time to get into that new home before school starts. So contact Douglas today, 248-765-1781. He and the team at Century 21 Campbell will work to get you the absolute best deal on the sale and or purchase of your home. Doug's the man. He's easy to work with and a great friend of the show, obviously. So call him today, 248-765-1781.
Did you see Judd Apatow on the Late Show? Is it the Late Show or the Late Show with Colbert? I guess it's the Late Show.
I just think of it as Colbert's show.
Apatow's on there and he's talking about, he was asked to take
Cruise,
this
right?
meeting with Tom Cruise, yeah, and he's like, they were doing the movie. What was the porn one that he did? Like, not porn, but Knocked Up with Seth Rogen,
Right.
And so he's like, Seth is totally unknown at this point, and he's like, I'm going to bring Seth Rogen just as so someone can verify that I was here having a meeting with Tom Cruise, and so Seth mentions online porn, and Tom Cruise is like, he's telling the story on the show last night. Tom Cruise is like, wait, what?
Wait, porn online?
There's porn
on the
on
World Wide Web?
I think that was his quote. There's porn on the World Wide Web, and they're like,
Oh.
Yes.
yeah, there sure
Now,
is.
granted, this was 2006, but still,
There's
porn on the World Wide Web.
He says, I don't know how it came up, but it usually comes up with Seth, where he starts talking about weed and porn. He starts talking about watching adult films on the internet, and Cruz is like, wait, what? Whoa.
Stop.
You're saying there's adult films on the internet? Seth's like, yeah, there's all these movies on these websites. Cruz is like, wait a second. You're saying if I go on the computer, on the World Wide Web, there are people having sex? Yeah, all the time.
Is it possible Cruz is just a fucking douchebag asshole and he's fucking with Seth Rogen?
Maybe, I
Just being
choose to believe that he's
sarcastic.
a moron. I mean, is
Yeah.
that possible? That in when did that movie come
If
out?
Seth
2006?
Rogen is an unknown and he's just viewed by Cruz as some schlep sitting there, as kind of a you're just a bother. Wait, what are you saying? Wait, oh, buddy, you telling me there's porn on the World Wide Web? Really?
I mean, isn't that
Is
what
it
the World
maybe-
Wide Web was known for in 2006? It was like, of all the things you could do with the web, like porn took off faster than anything. Is it possible he didn't? Maybe he was fucking with him. But these guys are like, we don't know. He might have been, but he sure played it off well.
Well, the movie was in 2007.
Well, he is an actor,
but-
Mike. A damn
He
good
is.
one.
So they're filming that
Especially
movie.
when he's asked to play a young man who's lost his father and needs to prove to others that he can reach his father's level. If asked to do that,
He's the
kills
man
it.
for the job.
Kills it.
Yeah.
Or if he's asked to serve a volleyball, Mike, my God.
Don't even get me started on the volleyball. He is a sexy man on a volleyball court. He is. Throw Val Kilmer in. It's a home run every time. 2007, is it possible? I mean, I would think even like the click people in some fucking weird village in some shithole on the other side of the planet
Soon after
would
the
know
Coke
about
bottle
porn.
hit that guy in the head, he signed on the World Wide Web and discovered porn.
Gods must be crazy. Absolutely crazy.
They must be.
Dude chucks a Coke bottle out the plane.
It's impossible that Cruz didn't realize that porn was available online.
Is it?
It's impossible.
Is it though? I mean,
Yeah.
if he's dialed into his fucking Scientology creepy shit and he's
Yeah, you're right. That kind of throws a wrench in the whole thing.
if it
doesn't
wasn't for Scientology, I wouldn't believe a word of this story. But Scientology's weird as fuck,
Yeah.
man. It's possible.
I reckon.
Yeah. E,
What?
comment? What do you think? Do you think it's possible that in 2007,
Yes,
Tom
I
Cruise
think 'cause he
would
just
not?
seems like a weirdo.
Yeah.
So I think he's the one person almost that I would believe it. I'm not saying it's true, but
Yeah.
I think chances are he was goofing on Seth, trying
Yeah.
to put him in his spot as just an underling fuck. Nobody.
Maybe.
Really? Oh man! Wow! Really? You're telling me there's porn on the World Wide Web?
Here's the thing. I hope it's true. I hope he wasn't aware of porn in 2007.
Because that must have been a really exciting night for him.
Oh, can you imagine the discovery? I mean, it's a gold mine.
Let me just pull up Bing here.
I'm just gonna search
www.bing.com. Okay, I've got it open.
Bing search porn.
Porn.
Holy! And his computer's
shit.
just smoking.
if he had
It's
an
just
assistant, he'd
smoking.
be yelling out to his assistant, "I'll be done for the night." No,
Go home early. I'm all set.
No calls get through tonight. No one disturbs Mr. Cruz.
As his AOL account goes doo 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 doo.
Oh, that's hilarious. How we doing for email?
We
Jay?
do have some email,
Do we-
Mike. Let's see here. JPC Fourth, our superhero expert, chimes in.
Great. I
Of
wonder.
course,
He's going to have good things to say about us.
you know,
He
we were
usually does.
discussing superheroes the other day with respect to James Gunn and his situation with the Guardians of the Galaxy firing. JPC says, you guys handled the James Gunn situation pretty well. Some of your superhero knowledge was lacking, but at least there was no besmirching of my beloved genre. For the record, Batwoman is a dyke.
Really? Is
So
that?
there's confirmation.
Are they just saying that, or is that like she's a known lesbian in that
I
world?
wouldn't
don't
doubt
know.
if that's part of the storyline. That,
Okay.
that she came out as a dyke. I wouldn't doubt it. As for
I don't
Gunn,
think you're supposed to say dyke anymore. By the way.
oh, I'm sorry.
Lesbo.
Carpet
Or
muncher.
lesbo. Yeah, that's
A
acceptable.
carpet muncher. Okay.
Right.
As for Gunn, as you guys mentioned, he flat out disclosed this blog to Disney when they first hired him, and Disney gave zero shits about it. But now there is outrage and heads must roll, blah, blah, blah. With a comedy of hypocrisy. What a comedy of hypocrisy. Anyway, I predict that Gunn will be back with the cast from Guardians, now openly showing support. All it will take is their cash cow, Chris Pratt, giving an ultimatum, and Disney will put Gunn back on the project, speculates JPC Fourth.
I hope that's true. I don't know, man. I started reading some stories this morning, that word inside Disney is they are not going to bring him back. Even with the letter from the full cast saying we want him back, blah, blah, blah. So we'll see.
Well, JPC Fourth hangs his hat on the fact that got G3, which must be Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Right.
isn't due out for a few years, so the shitstorm will die down by then.
Well, yeah,
But
the
so-
shitstorm's
but-
over already.
Yeah, the shitstorm's over, but the interests from Chris Pratt, etc., will wane as well as other people get involved.
And here's the
Right?
fact. Here's the fact of the shitstorm, though. You hire him, there will be a 2-day shitstorm, maybe a week, right? Whether you hire him a year from now or tomorrow, it'll be in the news that he's hired, and then it'll be like, why wasn't he hired? Well, here's why, and then the shitstorm. Blah, blah, blah. If you just weather that for a few days, and then you're fine.
But they bring him back, and they have the shitstorm again, won't they?
Yeah,
Because that'll be then the third time they handle the same blog
right.
through
But
the Twitter shitstorm.
him saying it's not due out for a while, so that once the shitstorm dies down, they'll bring him back later. My point is, when they bring him back later, you re-spark the shitstorm.
Yes.
It's coming no matter what.
I would agree with
So
you.
weather that for a few days and then just go on. No one really gives a shit. No one really cares.
Bone Job writes in. Now, Bone Job, I think we can probably put in the category of hating E. He's an E hater. Would that
You
be fair?
sure about that? I was thinking he was the one that loved E. No?
He would be on the hates Big E side of the ledger.
Okay.
If we had such a ledger.
It's a big ledger.
After 3 years of going to countless glow parties, the best E-tard can do to explain EDM is, I like body highs or whatever. After one weekend of watching some EDM on TV, Jay describes elegantly the dynamics of the music, including the differences in style from artist to artist.
How
with
so?
love.
How so?
Boy,
I
that's
want to hear
gotta
those.
hurt
I want to
E.
hear what those.
You've been trying to explain EDM
I want to hear what that
to us for
description was.
3 years.
I want to hear that description.
E, I think you have to go back to the episode he's
Okay.
talking about.
I'm not going to, but
We're all on our own journey, E, as you know. We're all taking in EDM.
Sure.
In
Not all
our
of
own
us.
personal ways.
Sure.
Old, Halcyon is absolutely transcendent.
Sure.
So I'll be checking that out.
Isn't that a fucking drug for women with incontinence or something? Once I started taking Halcyon.
Yeah, was that listener telling me to take an incontinence drug or check out a song? I'm not sure.
Halcyon, take me away. Isn't that how they're
Told it's transcendent.
Yeah.
Dipping fries. Now this is one of those
This
things.
is bullshit.
Again, it's amazing. We'll go through these items. We'll talk about myriad items all day long, 200 different subjects during a typical episode. And the one that you think is just a total throwaway, the one you never think is going to resonate with anyone, is the one that comes back to haunt you.
Always.
And it's the dipping of fries and Frosties. This was a total throwaway comment by Isis.
for one, by the way, not that it matters, but I don't know. I do shakes, not Frosties. I know it doesn't matter, I guess, but
Okay,
there
so-
is
Ice cream in a cup.
I do.
And then Mike proclaimed that's like putting mashed potatoes in your ice cream.
Yeah.
This is
Well, then I
ridiculous.
guess when
I
I
stand
make
by
my
that.
waffle mix, if I could just eat the waffle mix, then I'm just eating. I mean, that's a waffle before I put it in the iron and it's hard.
No, not,
Well, how
not even
so?
close. Because
How-
potatoes are cooked,
So
and so are fries.
Yeah.
Your batter's not cooked yet. So it's not officially a
no,
waffle
no,
yet.
no.
Yes,
but
yes, yes,
once,
yes, yes.
once it's a French fry, though,
No.
that's not mashed potatoes inside of it.
It absolutely is
No,
mashed
it's
potatoes
okay.
inside of it.
That's a
Jay, are you
Anyway,
with me on this?
whatever.
While it's fried on the outside, it is mashed potatoes
doesn't
in,
matter.
in
Any-
between.
I'm gonna sit this one out.
Okay.
I'm not real passionate about either side.
I'm not either. Still find
and
myself.
I don't want
sounds
to
like
just
it.
pick sides to pick sides. I mean, if gun to my head, I'm on Mike's side, of course.
Thank you. Because it just makes more sense, E, not because he's not wanting to support
Of
you.
course, yeah.
He's waiting for you
Anyway,
to make a
let the
relevant
fucking-
point, and he'll
whatever the
support
guy
you.
says.
So Jay and others write in concerning dipping fries. I'll have you know, Isis, that Mike and I have been roundly dismissed in our view of dipping fries. Everybody is on your side on this, including Jay, who says, "Gentlemen and E, I don't often agree with Big E. I was going to just let this one go, but after hearing the discussion brought forth after listener Tyler's email regarding dipping fries into milkshakes, I have to put in my 2 cents. It is fucking delicious!
How is that possible?
Seriously, you should try it. Now, he explains it. French fries, vanilla shake, dip, eat. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually amazing. There's something about the greasy saltiness of the fries and the sweetness of the shake that just creates an orgy of flavor in your mouth. And that's what other people have said. It's the salt and the sweet.
Kind of salt and sweet. I will say to me, you got to do, if you're going to do it, though, you got to do it at a real place with real shakes. You can't do it, I mean, you got a place with like a hand-dipped shake. Like if you can go to a diner and get, fry, where they hand-dip the shake.
It sounds
where
like they're enjoying it just as much
I
at
understand
Wendy's
that,
and
but for
McDonald's,
me,
though.
like that's when I love it the most. When it's like a real, actual hand-dipped ice cream shake, and then the
I guess
fries.
I just don't know where that begins. Like I've never I've had
He
shakes there.
He never knows when to just shut up and win. He's got all these
Yeah.
listeners who are like, yes, fries and
I
Frosties,
know.
fries and McDonald's shake. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's got to be hand dipped. It's like,
Exactly.
dude, you won, man.
Take the knee, run out the clock.
Everybody
knee.
agrees with you.
He's going to have that miracle in the Meadowlands moment
Fuck.
where they don't take a knee, and who's the DB that picked the ball up and ran and scored a touchdown?
Yeah.
Take your fucking knee, E.
Okay, fine.
Run out the clock. You
Thank you.
win.
I appreciate
I
it.
just don't know who's sitting there like, I've got my burger, my fries, and my shake, and this is all good.
Why
Wait
dip
a
it
minute,
into anything?
wait a
Why
minute.
dip it into ranch? Why?
E, take your knee. I'm going to try my Why wouldn't you choose dipping
Dude,
your burger
it's the
in your
same
shake?
curiosity that led to dudes smoking fucking everything out there and finally finding weed, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're
I mean,
right.
think about how much shit people must have dried and smoked before they came
Raspberries,
upon marijuana.
blueberries.
Yeah.
They smoked
Shit that made them sick as hell, right?
actual grass.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you finally come upon this magical thing.
Gross. Yep.
We'll save the rest for Monday.
Yeah, very good. Monday. We got an exciting week next week. I think J. Chris Newberg's coming in next Thursday.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Dude, I had no idea. He had like the #1 comedy album in the country for, I don't know, a couple weeks. And then he was like, that fucking cocksucker Jim Gaffigan knocked him off.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you know what? I hope he fucking
about
dies.
Gaffigan lately.
How
I hope
dare you like
Gaffigan
Gaffigan.
fucking dies. Fuck him. How dare he bump you off #1? He's like, yeah, I was #1 for a few weeks, and then fucking asshole Gaffigan came along and
I hope that
knocked me out at #2.
Gaffigan gets a goddamn brain tumor
Yeah.
like his wife. Ugh.
Ew, boy, that's a bit strong.
That was.
See, I was hoping he choked to death, like, on his food. But,
Oh.
not necessary to bring his wife into this. Wow. Shame on you, Jay. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.